I'm Ben. I thought I'd do a little video to show you yet another project that I've been working on. I've been working on this for several years, but a lot of mistakes have been made along the way. This is the first time that I've ever done anything like this, and I'm building an electric guitar, or hopefully several. So I thought I'd do a little video just to show you how I was doing it, and to give you some dimensions and things. So thanks very much to my father. We've put some blocks. These are cut a little bit too short, which was my fault. I was probably rushing it again, but as in Blue Peter fashion, here's one I made earlier. Always wanted to say that. So just to give you some dimensions, the total length is 30 inches or 660 millimeters. And if I flip it over, it's made of two kinds of wood. This is Canadian maple and this is American walnut. And the walnut is, I think, is a 1/4 inch, which is about 6.5 mil or 6.3 mil wide. This middle piece of maple there is 1/2 inch or 13 mil, 12.6 to be exact. The outside doesn't matter too much. That's about 1.5 inches, roughly 38 to 40 mil. And then on the sides, sorry about that, this is where I'll be drawing out and cutting the necks out. Just to show you the necks, this is the first one that I made. Hope it focuses. Well, that's probably a bit better. But it's not quite the right shape. But I was quite chuffed with how it came out. But I've since updated the general shape. This one went wrong, so you'll start to see some mistakes. So whilst effectively it's the same, I wanted to put in, I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up, but there's a nice little detail here. Can you see that? And this one went wrong. Obviously I drilled the holes in the wrong place, and it just wasn't very good. So I ended up having to get the fretboard back off of it in order to try and rescue the truss rods there. So excuse me. So I'm going to get this glued up. What I tend to use is actually an ordinary household paint roller. Squeeze a load of glue out on there and then just roller it. That's the most efficient way of applying the glue to a big or a fairly large surface like this. And then I shall just layer them up one by one and then clamp it all together with the miniature sash clamps, which are this kind of affair. And then hopefully you leave it overnight for it to cure, and hopefully by the morning it should be nice and solid and dry. So when it comes to the body, I have actually made some plugs, which I did a little while ago, which I shall just show you just here. They're not finished yet. There's still quite a bit more to do. If I can just tilt that up, maybe you could be able to see it better. so that I've got some straightening up to do. Also, I need to router out in here a bit deeper, so it's the same as that. I also need to clean it up in there with the router. So I did have some footage of when I made these plugs, but alas, I don't know what's happened to it. It disappeared a long time ago. But basically, I glued several pieces of MDF board together to form two halves. Here's the other one. And then I screwed the two halves together before drawing and cutting the shape out, and then shaping it all with the router, and just to get all the bits that I need to get it all routed out in here. As you can see, particularly with this one, that there have been quite a few mistakes. As I said earlier, this is the first time that I've ever attempted anything like this, but I think it's going okay. There's lots more sanding. I've got a little bit of G4 that's built up in the corners here, which needs to all be rectified and sanded out. I can't mould off of that otherwise. Likewise, I think in the future, if I ever make plugs from MDF ever again, I won't actually use G4. It just draws it in too much, and because it takes so long to cure, you kind of have to leave it for a good 8 to 12 hours before you can start sanding it. It's just a bit too difficult to work with. So in the future, I think that I'll just end up spraying it with a PU furniture, which is a polyurethane 2-pack base coat, which is usually sandable within half an hour to an hour. I've done both sides. I've coated both sides. This is so that it makes it. I use a sprayable PVA release agent, and I'm intending to take fiberglass moulds from this, and then the end result I'm hoping to do in a core-filled carbon fibre before bonding the halves together and doing the wiring and things. Anyway, I hope that you like my little project. I will be coming down quite often this year, and hopefully I'll get to work on the projects over this year, so at least it might be something that I get done in the future. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. There's no such thing as bad criticism, so if you're a professional luthier, any tips or pointers, advice or anything, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thanks ever so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.